Well, it has been a long day of action-packed Quake, but we have one final set to bring you. I am 40 Lions, joined by the one and only ZSX and DJ Wheat. Gentlemen, cypher k1llsen, what do
Big
we
one.
think?
Big one. I mean, we've seen this go both ways in the past. I've seen k1llsen dismantle cypher, but I've also seen cypher dismantle k1llsen. It really can go either way, and they're two guys pretty on form as well.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention that everything about these two in this second season is exactly the same. They've got the same series record, 3-2. They've got the same map record, 8-7. And so there is a world where the first two maps are split by cypher and k1llsen, and we remain, and then it will be one game that will determine who moves up and who moves down. They're both tied for a sixth ranked spot, and both players completely capable of making it still up to the green, basically, on the standings. I don't think that either of them are sort of in any sort of tournament life situation, but this is an important match for both of them.
Absolutely. And if you just tuned in and missed it, Cooler took it over, Tox, and just kind of gave his blessing to cypher and said, I want cypher to go on and win this belt. And that's pretty cool. I mean, going into this, I don't know if cypher heard that or not, but that's pretty big praise coming from the king himself.
cypher's a king himself. I don't think he'll really carry the way what Cooler said, even though it's a nice thing. I don't mean disrespect to that, but it doesn't make him any
Cooler heard you. He's going to find you, and he's going to hurt you. I don't know.
He might.
But you're right. cypher is a king in his own right, but he hasn't lifted that belt quite yet. And I think we're all kind of waiting and seeing if maybe Stage 1 finals of this season could be when he does it.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course his opponent k1llsen, a great run in season 1 of the QPL. Some excellent moments here in season 2. But if I could open up the head of k1llsen and look inside that brain, I don't know that I would see a whole lot of satisfaction with his own performance. And so I think I meant that in the nicest way possible.
Imagine you were going to say I wasn't going to find an awful lot, and then I couldn't stop myself laughing.
Oh, wow. No, there's a lot in there, but that might also be the problem, right? Like, you have these great games, you have these not so great games. Sometimes k1llsen is on, he's the Railson we all know and love. Other times, not so. Dan, you've just totally train wrecked it all there.
Sorry, man. I don't know.
He's talking about k1llsen, not me, Dan. All right, calm down.
My brain was just so ahead of that for some reason. But I see what you're getting at. Like, they're both sitting mid-level and tier. k1llsen's the second, the only one of two people to win the belt twice. You would expect him, and he's never happy with not winning. So I completely agree.
Yeah. Well, now that we've ruined everything, I think we're going to have the pig pans ready shortly before we get into this. Any gut feelings just based on cypher k1llsen?
My gut feeling is k1llsen 2-1. That's only because if k1llsen turns up and hits his rails, I just know that it can unsettle cypher somewhat.
Oh my God!
But
Tower of Coth, we're doing it.
Oh my God,
we're doing it, boys.
We are. And deep, and deep embrace.
I love it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'd just talk about that cypher's pick as well with Athena. I like it. What do you think?
She's going up against Sorlag, and there's plenty of ways to close the gap on her. I don't know how effective she'll be on that map, but she's got so much utility, she'll be effective anywhere. But it's also a map that favors k1llsen's style, if he can perfect. Oh, yeah, k1llsen's style as well. Sorry, I was mixing up Embrace and Tower of Coth for a second. Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't seen an awful lot of Coth. I saw k1llsen play it, I think, in my first cast, whatever the week 1, maybe that was. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe week 3. It didn't look particularly comfortable on it, and it's often banned up for a reason, so not too sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, and I think as we get closer again to the Stage 1 finals where the best ofs get deeper and deeper, we might see Tower of Coth more and more, so people probably have that in their back pocket. We might have a small glimpse into, maybe what cypher's been working on. So I think it'll be interesting. Deep Embrace is always fantastic. That's going to be a great map to round out the series, but I think this is going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a mess, and I can't wait to sit back and let you two deal with it while I just watch.
Great. We'll be the cleaners today for sure. Thank you,
do.
40. We'll be back at the end. ZSX, yeah, I mean, like one of the other things that's really interesting is that Cypher has a couple of really tough weeks ahead of him, right? He's got to play Wenger next week. After that, Sparty, and then I believe he has a bye. So this one becomes almost like one extra level of important when he thinks about where he wants to end up before going into the stage 1 finals. Already going to be a tough match. Having that little bit of pressure, sometimes that makes players perform at the level that, puts them into, superhero territory. Other times, not so much. Is Cypher able to do that? He did get the blessing for Cooler, but he has a couple of tough weeks. So I think he really needs to snag this one.
Yeah, and as you said, they're sitting literally even in the leaderboard, so it'll give some breathing room for sure. Either way it goes, and then it will put them in better standing, as you say, in terms of rankings. I don't think they'll be too worried about the rankings. It's more the mental game, and that's exactly what you said. It can give you that additional momentum going into finals because we're only a couple of weeks away now, which puts more pressure for you to bring on some results.
Well, we are loading up the first match, and while we do that, I just want to shout out Malink Fox from chat. He said DJ Wheat looks like ZSX's professor and is upset at his lack of homework effort.
That's kind of how I feel right now.
Wonderful. I love it. All right. Awoken is going to be our first map of this series, and I think it is going to be crazy. You said 2-1. Who do you think 2?
I think to k1llsen, yeah.
All right. 2-1 k1llsen. Well, we're about to find out as we go 3-2-1 fight. And we are into this first game. We're going to see both of the new maps also here in the stage being played. And we are looking through the eyes of Cypher. It's going to open things up with a nice little rail. And then a second one. And doesn't hit that third. That would have made us all drop our jaws. But can he get this initial frag? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. k1llsen is in. He was definitely in frag territory. Tried to go for that light. And he got a shotgun instead.
Super aggressive play from k1llsen. I'm pretty sure Cypher also saw the ghost walk, the pixels of evaporation on the side screen, so he knew something was up. k1llsen trying his luck though, and it's not working out. He's given up an early lead. He's given up control, and he doesn't have the ghost walk either, so he needs to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, trying to hit those little peak rails, as we have seen k1llsen do in great ways, and unfortunately not going to work out for him. Cypher lands rail of his own to 0. And you were right. k1llsen was playing awfully aggressive there, Dan. And he's kind of lucky he didn't get that hit with that second frag right away. I'm okay with the aggression. I think it's great, but I think he pulled back when he needed to.
He did, and Cypher's got a good rotation going on now. He's got all of the items. k1llsen's got nothing to work with, but this is a Nyx. This is the way she plays. She should never overextend and take up too much time. He's going to be forced to pot a ghost walk here. Just hit nice rail as well in advance. Wants to hit her a second on the item, but Cypher, he's more than ready for these shenanigans, and k1llsen's in a lot of trouble already, only 2 minutes into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might have to wait back here and for those 25s, and he won't even get a chance to. Cypher knew that he was low, went in there with the LG, and manages to pick up his third frag, 3-0. Cypher with just some great rails, and then we're going to see the follow-up with that off of the spawn. Cypher's going to make that lead 4-0, and the aggression really can't come out there from k1llsen off the spawn. Did a little bit of damage, but not enough to guarantee a frag, and already being down by 4 in the first 2 minutes, I think he's got to play it safe.
Yeah, it definitely needs to take his foot off the pedal just a little bit. He's trying to force the issue, which is quite uncharacteristic for k1llsen because he hasn't created any real openings just yet. He's in a good position here to pick up the Mega, which would be a big win for him given the circumstances, but Cypher doesn't want it to go for free, and he hits a rail as well.
I mean, what a great... first off, some great patience from Cypher there. And on k1llsen's side, too, not just going for it, but mixing it up with the tri-bolt and the rail there on the grab. Nicely done. k1llsen does have a little bit of a stack here. Some LG firing out, and you know, cypher's not in the best of shape, but he's able to quickly get back up. Another phenomenal rail. Cypher already hitting a 47% to k1llsen's 50, but 19 shots from Cypher right now.
He's the one taking initiative so far. Getting the jump over k1llsen. He has relinquished control, so k1llsen has that in his favor, and that first rail was at least null. Picking up the item after, and he's caught Cypher here way too early for that heavy, and he's back on the board.
He is back on the board, and he really needed that, needed to keep it where it was. Up the jump pad, LG battle, and he does manage to get that. That is a nice little conversion that k1llsen desperately needed. He has his ghost walk up, see if he can land a rail here, throws out a couple of rockets. Narrowly misses that one, but takes away the light, and you know, trying to starve Cypher from as much as he possibly can. Now this is interesting. Pops the ghost walk, sees his opponent sitting on the heavy, but lets him grab it away. None of those rockets hit, only the rail on the exit.
Yeah, that's painful. Aggressive posturing from the Doom Slayer, but popping that Doom Berserk to get away quickly was just what was needed, and k1llsen not doing enough damage. He pops up. They're hitting their rail so far.
Yeah, they are really just wanting to rail duel in a major way here. You know, both players were in the danger zone there. k1llsen now in a lot of trouble. He did grab the heavy, was down to about 35, but manages to sneak away on that one. Now finding himself in the middle. LG battle comes out yet again. And up the jump pad, gets hit with the rail before the ghost walk will stand exactly where he was. Tries to use the shotgun, but it does not work. In fact, it backfires, and Cypher gets the better of that exchange.
Yeah, Cypher did all of that without a single rocket launcher to his name. He has one now, but he hasn't got a lightning gun, so he's stuck on the low ground. Swaps to the shotgun, and k1llsen wants to drop, but he's done so much damage. Enough to push onto this Mega and set up early for it. Cypher does retreat with between his legs, but we're already only 5 minutes to go, so time is ticking away quickly. And Cypher's the one dictating the pace.
Yeah, it really is. And although k1llsen did have, you know, did have that opportunity there, Cypher was able to kind of bring it back, the control back in his favor. So less than half of this match left to go. Still plenty of time, as we saw a barreling k1llsen going for that light. And Cypher's just going to rotate around and finds k1llsen with the LG out. Nice rail coming out by k1llsen. He's going to follow up with the LG of his own. Mega is picked up, however. k1llsen still manages the frag with the shotgun. Nicely done. I mean, great decision making there by k1llsen. Felt it was right to go in. He is a little low right now, but he's one frag closer to tying this game up.
Yeah, but being so weak, he can't contest for this heavy, and it might be costing him full map control. As Cypher's going to push in here for the Mega as well. Super aggressive. Doesn't hit his rocket jump, though. Oh, that would have secured it.
Huge opportunity. I mean, you know what? Quake is made up of opportunities that come both from what you make and also what your opponent gives you. And in that particular case, we saw the beautiful direct rocket on the jump pad there and was able to follow up with 2 rails, but Cypher does bring it back incredibly low, pins his opponent to the wall with that LG 6-5, but this suddenly went from a 4 frag lead to a very close game.
Oh! Oh dear. k1llsen seems to be finding himself looking much cleaner than he did for the first few minutes. He is caught off guard here. No ghost walk as well, and Cypher knows that. This is why he's pushing in so aggressive. He doesn't have a rocket nose, so he's going to have to drop, take this fight up close, and it works! k1llsen ran out of ammo.
Wow. I mean, the odds of that one, I think we run that one in a simulation like 10 more times, and that was the only time that it actually worked out in Cypher's favor. Nicely done on that one. It does give him the lead back. They were tied at 6, but not for long. Now Cypher with the frag and then a follow-up frag as he gets the LG. Cypher now, I think, is sitting very, very nicely. Landing a rail on k1llsen is super low. I think he's comfortably setting himself up here for potential map 1 victory.
He's looking good. There is 2 minutes to go, but look at the level of control he's got now. k1llsen very much on the back foot. Needs to hit a couple of big rails here or use the aggressive Ghost Hawk. He has done that, but he's mistimed.
What?
He's mistimed.
And that LG was just sick AF. That was really, really nice LG coming out there by cypher. I feel like every cell was hitting there. 9-6, less than 2 minutes left to go. And, you know, cypher, I think, can get a little comfortable at this point. You know, he grabs the Mega, which puts him in a great spot. He can sit in the back hallways if he wants to. 3 frag lead with 90 seconds to go. This is all on k1llsen's back.
Yep. He will have to choke pretty damn hard if he's going to throw this one. Unless k1llsen pulls something pretty momentous out of his bag of tricks.
It'd have to be a pretty... that must be the largest bag of tricks that exists. And there the Ghost Walk. He materializes out of it. Nothing comes from it, though. 1 minute as cypher is just almost toying with k1llsen a little bit here. There's an aggressive rocket jump up to the top. As he flips around, he knows his opponent is around here somewhere. And look at this, cypher even in the lead with the 3 frags. He's going after k1llsen, and it's not the other way, which is what k1llsen really needs to, you know, even give himself any chance.
Yeah, he's not hard committing. He's just posturing, cutting off the attack routes and delaying k1llsen's advances. And it's the experience of cypher, really, that's shoving through here. And he's just going to run the map for the final 30 seconds. There's not enough time, even if k1llsen gets a frag right now.
And I think, you know, the one thing on my mind, ZSX, is that this was k1llsen's pick. He was hoping to at least pick this one up here, right? Like, I mean, we mentioned Coth being next, and you know, I don't even know what to expect. There's a nice rail coming out by k1llsen. Unfortunately, too little, too late. As the final score in the final seconds wraps up here, it is 10-7 with that last minute rocket frag, and cypher takes game number 1.
He looks so calm and collected. I haven't seen cypher look that methodical and simple for quite a while. It looks like he's found himself a little bit more comfort in his play recently, and he definitely rattled k1llsen, judging by the facial expressions that he was showing us on k1llsen cam, whereas cypher looked very, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, to think cypher was up 4-0 and k1llsen brought it back, you know, that's not an awesome feeling. k1llsen has some amazing frags too, right? The sort of unforced error on cypher's behalf, going up that, or forced error, I guess, going up that jump pad, like beautifully placed rocket. But man, cypher's LG was actually phenomenal. Yeah, wow, that's what I was saying as well, k1llsen. You know, like, does he miss? We're seeing several of those frags come out there. That's a scary shaft to be on the end of.
Yeah, you can see cypher's control much better than k1llsen's. k1llsen did slightly more damage, but pretty much parity. And as you say, there was some amazing frags from k1llsen, but it felt like he was relying on hitting these back-to-back shots, where cypher's kills felt more calculated and more structured, and then he was catching k1llsen off guard. And there were a few mistimers from k1llsen as well that also contributed to the win.
Yeah, the LG murder that took place at the Mega with the mistiming of that one was unfortunate. I mean, obviously we've seen those battles play out many times where it's LG battle, but the Mega pops up, and that person who's the recipient of it ultimately wins that one. Not the case. And now we're moving on to Tower of Coth. And, you know, really interesting to kind of hear. I don't think I've seen this yet in any of the featured matches. You know, it sounds like, well, we know it was cypher's pick, but I'm not sure if it was you or 40 that mentioned it, but that the last time you saw k1llsen on this, it didn't look like the most comfortable arena for him.
It's a super weird layout of a map. It's huge. The items, you can't control the items, but there's so many other attack routes and traps to be set and different angles and verticality that it often ends up being a very slow-paced encounter. And cypher's picked it. He's obviously got a plan and a strategy, but at the same time, it can be a very rail-heavy map, so one would expect that k1llsen should like it as well.
Yeah, and I mean, well, we're watching cypher off the bat. Cypher's immediately having to retreat out of there, having gotten hit by that first rail from k1llsen. So we're going to see how this one plays. And I think actually like a slower matchup might actually favor k1llsen a little bit here if he is able to kind of turn that rail on. But I kind of feel with the pick from Cypher that, feeling comfortable on a map is crucial to success. And so I'm really, really curious on how this one is going to play out. And if it's a long range kind of snipe battle, I'm okay with that. Either way, I'm hoping we get a good game here.
Yeah, being a new map, there will always be strategies that emerge because it's never the same playing it in practice as it is in official. There's always a different mentality, different pacing. So we'll continuously see this evolve. And as Forty mentioned, as we move into the finals, where we see best of fives, and this map will be coming out more and more and more. So it's the time to get comfortable on it.
We're already seeing Cypher using his grapple for a little bit of an aerial advantage there. 2 nice rails coming out from Cypher. He looks for that third one to clean it up, but a light was picked up by k1llsen, and he was not within danger. Misses that one, unfortunately. Spit does come out right here in the middle on the staircase. LG from Cypher, but k1llsen with the shotgun frag. And, I guess that's the other thing to consider. k1llsen, taking that lead early. I don't know like how that might benefit a player. I guess this is going to be a hard one to have to chase them.
100%. You can play this map so slow if you want to, and Sorlag is actually a really smart pick because A, you move fast, B, there's acid, and C, because it is so big, if you can get away from your opponent, even if you're low, you've got plenty of time to hide and restack, and there's lots of resources around, so it is actually an interesting matchup seeing Athena going up against the Sorlag here.
And interesting attack there by k1llsen, not only denying that LG, but getting a little bit of LG damage right there. And I do like that aspect of the map too, right? Denying your opponent weapon, and he was able to do that quite well. Looking at Cypher, a Spit comes out. Definitely going to be seeing that a lot, sort of zoning, keeping players out of various areas as well. And this is the pace that you mentioned early on.
Incredibly so. k1llsen doesn't have a rail yet, so he wants to work his way over to there, but at the same time needs to keep track of his opponent, which he doesn't do, so skids himself away. Cypher just missing out on that rail and wants to chase k1llsen down.
I mean, 3 minutes already passed, and it doesn't seem like like there's been a ton of action, but it makes every single moment of action be so important. And a beautiful grapple to the heavy follows up with the rail to tie it up off of the spawn. LG k1llsen going for it, throws out the Spit, cannot get in there though. He will manage to be able to grab it eventually. But both players, is he going to tick down? And there it is. Spit for the kill. 3-2. k1llsen.
Oh my god, he completely panicked.
It happens. It happens. So both players kind of like resetting after that one. k1llsen not has he he's shooting a 42% rail, 3 of 7 shots. They just don't necessarily seem like they have made a big difference in this matchup, but I know you mentioned this rail earlier. There's a missed opportunity there once again. You got Cypher dropping down a lot of rockets. That direct out of nowhere, and will he get it in the corner? He does.
What?
And I think that direct came in huge for Cypher. We're going to tie it back up. He almost immediately goes back to LG now. Every single time he's gotten a conversion frag, knowing that, k1llsen is going to go for that. At least they've met every time right there. And k1llsen getting a little bit aggressive, and it is going to pay off. 4-3. Oh no.
I think k1llsen just became k1llsen. This has been some erratic play from the Germans so far. Dropping onto Cypher will be a kill here, but it's not been clean so far. Felt like he should be much more than the lead than he is.
Yeah, it's it's so interesting, just the fighting for the items that has taken place here, and just the danger that both players have been left when they've picked up a frag. Cypher one frag behind, but k1llsen has been playing this one, getting aggressive when he needs to. Heavy is up, is going to grab that, immediately using the grapple to regain middle level control here. And also really clear that, Cypher just doesn't, and k1llsen, when it's come up, it just doesn't always know, where his opponent's at.
Yes, Cypher definitely has the read on k1llsen, but these engagements have been messy, which has allowed k1llsen opportunities to get back into the game. He's also had pretty good control, not as good as Cypher, but better than what I would expected from the start. It does feel like it's settled into a rhythm there where Cypher has much better control of the map. He's playing his mid ground better. He's got both items on lockdown now with a good split between the two. He's hunting his prey.
Ooh, gets hit with a lot of spit there. Gonna keep it going, and the shotgun comes out. Cypher with a peak rocket to grab it. 5-5 again. It has just been back and forth the entire matchup. Switching on over to Cypher now. He knows at least that k1llsen picked up that heavy. He's gonna grab a health. How much of that item control do you think comes into play because of Athena?
Yeah, a decent amount. She can definitely get across quicker and has more utility to get in and out. But he's just done a better job of managing the timings and peppering his opponent. Nice.
Oh my gosh, he totally thought he was going to get the opportunity for the shot on the Mega, and he did not. Now off spawn, even though he loses that spawn, off spawn he was able to get the heavy, but k1llsen with a birthday surprise, a rail out of nowhere, and regains the league. And I want to just emphasize yet again, as we hit 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, if k1llsen picks this up, we are dead even yet again, and it's going to come down to Deep Embrace to decide who takes the series and who ultimately moves up in the rankings as well.
Yeah, but it is looking likely all k1llsen needs to do is play safe. But apparently not on his mind, as he does take an engagement here over the light armor, not hitting anywhere in there enough. And
I don't even know. What do you... Even k1llsen on his cam was just sort of like, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if he hit a weapon, brought a weapon out he didn't want to. He wasn't expecting Cypher to get that aggro.
It's just so sloppy from someone we kind of hold on a pedestal when it comes to execution. All of his aim, rockets, LG, rail, just been pretty shaky today.
That was a little rough. k1llsen, though, again, bringing it back, and that's good. Not letting k1llsen come out, not letting himself say that shouldn't happen. No, I'm just gonna gun it. In fact, taking this lead back, a big deal, as we have 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. Cypher does make a shot up to the top. There he gets some nice rocket bounces, but still can't close the kill on that one. And I think that was an okay decision right there. Tries to land the rail, far from it. A second one not connecting as well. 1 minute left to go. k1llsen doesn't need to force this win. He just needs to defend his lead.
Completely. Pressure's full on Cypher now. Sorry. If he can find and kill k1llsen, it's enough. But k1llsen's managed to pick up the Mega. He just needs to retreat. Managing his choke point here. He's got good audio cues. He's going to run. Cypher's got 2 grapples up and 30 seconds to find him.
And we're going to be keeping a close eye, looking for those rails. And those rails that normally we'd expect he'd hit no problems. Does get the spit out. Very nicely done, as that's going to force a little bit more pressure on Cypher. 15 seconds. I would say with Athena, you've got at least a better chance, but k1llsen's ready for this one. He's running away. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. LG in the corner. k1llsen can walk away, and he nabs it. 7-6. What a back and forth game. k1llsen, I got to give him a lot of credit. There were some things that absolutely didn't go his way, partially because Cypher was playing well, also partially because, as you mentioned, the aim was not the superstar for k1llsen in this one by any means.
Yeah, but he did what he needed to do. It was a bizarre game. It felt like it was Cypher's game the entire time because he was playing the map more effectively. But k1llsen, being the Sorlag, has that stack and just set up traps effectively and ensured that he was always keeping the pressure on the refrag. Every time he died, he was back into Cypher's face. He kept parity throughout, and that's exactly what he needed to do. That was a really nice read on Cypher just there.
That was beautiful. That was really great. And you know, I mean, I have to, right, if we can sit here and identify k1llsen didn't really hit some of the shots that we feel like he is capable of hitting, he still pulled that game out, right? It a lot of times came down to, I think, the decision making overall, and just, you know, tactics in terms of, you know, we had that early you know, spit frag, and you know, we had that surprise rail come out from k1llsen. So good decision making that ultimately led to that victory. You can only imagine it could have been a wider lead for k1llsen if he was hitting some of those rails that, you know, looked like were surefire hits as he's waiting for his opponent down the hallway, and they just didn't come out. So that's really the k1llsen, I think, that needs to, you know, be activated. He needs to look within and find that one. We've seen now a great game come out from cypher win, great win come out by k1llsen. Both of those were great games and could have gone either way, ZSX. So here we go, deep embrace, and all the marbles in this one right here. It's the rank, it is the series. The winner definitively takes the lead over the other here in stage 1 of season 2.
Yeah, don't know what to expect here. It could be a riot. It definitely plays into both of their strengths, this map. You can. That's why I love Deeper Embrace. There's so many different styles to play it on. So I don't know how to call this one, as you say. Like, k1llsen hasn't turned up to play as good as he know he can, but he's also taken a map off Cypher, so we can't argue with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I like what you said, both styles kind of fitting this map, both players using a champion that has a buddy with them. We've seen the turret be used to great success. We've seen Peeker be used to great success. So this one could get a little wild, and I'm here for it. It's great. I'm excited. We're starting things off with Cypher, and they split items, with Cypher grabbing the heavy and k1llsen grabbing the mega.
Yeah, it definitely plays into the way k1llsen loves to play this game. You have this very strong upper ground here in the mid-level with 360 vision of the map effectively. If you have that rail, you can just pick your opponent apart and then choose your time to strike. You can control this heavy. You then have the mega, which you can put a lot of pressure on if you need to, or even jump onto it. So it's a very small map, can be fast-paced, but you can also slow it down. There's plenty of corners, avenues, and the split level as well allows you to be quite defensive if you need to.
And I think if there is like one definitive strategy that we've seen kind of come out and embrace, it is what we're seeing from Cypher right here. You know, you mentioned it. Having control of this middle area gives you access to all kind of 4 corners of the map, a way over to heavy as well. And you're seeing it right here. Cypher, 2 rails. Does land the rocket as well as he comes back through for the 50s, and a rail to finish it up. Not only that, but will end up grabbing that heavy. Now, got an idea that his opponent went for the mega, so we will delay here, and I do like this a lot. It might set him up, or really either player, depending on how this next 30 seconds goes, into controlling both of them. But we're going to have a fight here for the middle. Rockets exchange. Peeker comes out. A great, I think, kind of play there by k1llsen, though, as he sort of dances around the wall. He does take a significant amount of damage there, but has to give up his position. Oh my gosh. I kind of wanted to see k1llsen's cam on that one. It was like Cypher floated over the top of k1llsen and just rockets are completely immobilized. Now we're at 2-1. I don't know your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. And then it was even more unfortunate that he died half a second before the heavy, and you can see the desperation from k1llsen just trying to pick up a single frag as he's done a significant amount of damage, but it's the timing of the attacks aren't the best. And now cypher's in a stable position. k1llsen needs to back off. But he's not doing so.
I mean, cypher's denied everything too. You know, k1llsen has not had armor since his last respawn. There he finally picks up a light. But cypher not looking too great himself. He's going to have to back up. He's got the mega timing and grabs that. Will he be able to make it over to the heavy? I think the answer is yes. Out of the teleporter, does get hit with the rail, but grabs the heavy, and he's got control.
And control's all you need at the moment. k1llsen has taken the mega side of the map, while cypher's slowing the pace down as if he's had a few rails till now. That turret is information as much as anything. k1llsen stabilizing up on this mid ground now.
And peeker up, peeker down. Still 3 to -1. Heavy is up. We do know that k1llsen grabbed that one. Great rail by k1llsen. Those are the kinds of shots that he needs. And will he be able to give chase here? He's trying to. cypher backtracking just a little bit there, but k1llsen was not going to have it. And not really able to gain much ground, but he's holding on to the ground that he's trying to hold on to. There is the mega, and he continues to control the middle.
Oof. Couple of angles. cypher's opened up for himself. He's missing easy shots, but at the moment he's running rings around k1llsen. k1llsen's the one in control, yes, but he's look at him running into cypher. These are the traps that cypher wants him to run to.
That LG, it's just, you know, it's like, that is the kind of LG ZSX where the moment that first cell hits you, you realize that you messed up real bad, right? He came in, cypher kind of hid from behind there. Beautifully done. But, thought the turret might be able to get it, but the heavy is going to save him and manages to grab a bubble off of that one. Was down to 6 at one point, and the score is 5 to -1. That has got to hurt.
You could see that cypher's made an active choice not even to go to the high ground. He's like, I know what you want to do, but if you want me, come and get me. And he's making k1llsen jump through this low ground into all of the traps that he's setting for him.
Yeah, it's a great point. And, you know, great rail shots are not going to, you know, stop you. Some of these shots, oh my gosh. Oh my, 8 to -1. 2 conversion frags off that last one.
Oh, man.
45% LG from cypher. Almost 1,000 damage. Pretty sick.
Yep, k1llsen needs 1 frag to get back to where he was 6 minutes ago. I don't think I've ever seen a QPR match end in negative, so that's the first challenge for k1llsen.
You know, chat, I think lend k1llsen your power. That's got to be it's a rough go after the 2 games that we just saw that were so incredibly close. And who knows? I'd love to find. Oh god!
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think chat are gonna give him the energy because they just want k1llsen gifts from his cam. It's gonna be. Oh, he's just getting completely outplayed by cypher, who's reading everything.
Oh my gosh! This is super rough right now. This is obviously, you know, that first suicide was a rough one to have to deal with. A second one, been a couple of peeker kills. Those LG traps that just feel like they're, you know, what could I have done differently other than just not walked in that room? This guy's LG is godlike. cypher has been eliminating the turrets. I'm not sure turrets has really done anything.
No, I was going to say the ice pick
game
has been null and void in this match. It hasn't done anything whatsoever.
And we've seen it be really effective when you can kind of hold heavy, and there's a lot of, you know, cute little things you can do over there, but it hasn't been the case. And cypher, if the first 2 games were warm up, this is for everything, right? Like, he is not missing.
Nope.
He's making real smart decisions, and I think you called it best, CSX, where you said he's letting k1llsen have that middle area. There he goes. He doesn't care that turret just got dropped down. Like, what is that going to do,
Yeah.
right? k1llsen has to put himself in danger. Cypher has a rail. He'll take the shot, whether he makes it, I don't know, but that's a strategy that's working for him. He doesn't have to control the center.
And like we said at the end of map 1, I think this is the most comfortable I've seen Cypher in a long, even when he got into the finals in season stage 3, this is the most comfortable I've seen him play. And yeah, he lost last map, but last map was just chaos. And you can see this map how beautiful he makes the game look when he finds his form. But perhaps k1llsen's not as comfortable on this map as he needs to be, but Cypher certainly is.
Yeah, I'd love to just see the practice that these two have undergone here. Certainly, I think there's a lot of advantage to really picking up to picking up the new maps quickly, as we're kind of seeing here. And this is it's a frag movie. We are now watching a frag movie. Put on your favorite track in the background, and there you go. Yep. You're getting it.
I've said it a few times, but I don't know what you think. For me, this is really reflective of an Era Walk, Quake Champions version of Era Walk, the way it plays and the layout of it, and the way it lends itself to different styles. And we know how good Cypher was on that map back in the day.
Yeah,
no way.
k1llsen trying to go for it. Does land a rocket, but has to walk away with 21 points of health. And, he's just got to be asking himself, like, what? I mean, obviously, there's nothing that can be done at this point. But, the ongoing question was,
oh, man,
what could I have done? And, certainly not the outcome that k1llsen wanted. At least he did pick up a map that helps with the rankings overall. But Cypher has spoken. He is going to be moving up in the ranks, and we mentioned it earlier. Like, Cypher really needed this win. He's got a match versus Wenger coming up. He's got a match versus Sparty, and I know that Cypher would like to be a little bit higher on those EU ranks going into the stage 1 finals. So some tough matches. This gives him a little bit of breathing room. k1llsen is still going to have some difficult matches coming up here, but that was quite a display by Cypher.
Yeah, I think k1llsen's butt's going to be a bit sore. That was the biggest beatdown I've seen in QPL, if I'm honest. And I think he lost hope quite early on in that game, and it spiraled a little bit from there. But that's nothing. Don't take it away from Cypher. He played the perfect game, and if you want to learn how to play that map, you just watch that replay 100 times, and you'll find out a million tricks you didn't know.
Completely agree. I mean, you might not be able to have the LG that Cypher has, but a lot of just the mechanical mechanics of what he was bringing were great. So can't wait to hear what 40 Lions has to say. 40, welcome back. As we saw an amazing 2 games, and then the third game where Cypher just put his flag into the ground. Please, your thoughts.
Do people still use the word shellacking? Because that's what that was. That was brutal. Yeah, I mean, props to k1llsen for finishing out that game. I know a lot of people would have just thrown their hands up and been like, I'm done. But, he crossed the finish line, but absolutely brutal, dominating performance from Cypher. And I don't know, is it the gift of the cooler? Was that Cypher before cooler even mentioned anything? I mean, if he goes forward looking like this is going to be insane, and he's going to be very, very scary to deal with. I mean, that's not just some player in the QPL that he just dismantled on that last map. That's 2-time champion k1llsen. So I think that's a very big statement he just made.
He got the blessing from Cooler prior to this matchup, and maybe that's the first little bit coming out there. But yeah, I completely agree. Cypher played phenomenally. Any thoughts on those first 2 maps? I mean, we saw the 10-7 Awoken, and then the Coth map, which was very slow, but then got really exciting and sort of the back and forth with k1llsen squeaking that one out.
Yeah, I like to see more of Coth. Like we mentioned before, I think we're going to see more and more of it as the best of 5 start to roll out. So I'm interested to see the diversity of champions. I think in that specific matchup, Athena versus Sorlag is a little bit tough, especially, acid all over the map. Athena does have a lot of grappling hook tricks that she can do. I didn't see a lot of that from Cypher. But moving forward, I would love to see more champions in that one specifically. k1llsen did what he needed to, but even then, it was very very close throughout the series. Cypher able to pull out map number 1, just missing out on map number 2, and then to put the stamp on it with map number 3. I don't know. I think in a different world, maybe he didn't go Athena. Maybe that's a clean sweep. You know what I mean? So shouts to both players. Cypher did a fantastic job. Shouts to k1llsen. I mean, he's been there before. He's the 2-time champ. He has to clean up some stuff moving forward. But that was just hats off to Cypher, man.
Yeah.
And I think we have him ready, actually. Cypher, if you're here, hello.
I'm here.
Congrats, man. That was domination
Very
on
congrats,
that last
yes.
map.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I mean, like, this exact matchup was like really important for me as like showing up what I'm capable of and what I achieved from the last like months, I would say. It was like a exam, I would say.
Nice. Well, as ZSX's professor, I will say you have passed. I got a question for you. You know that was a big match from our perspective because you kind of like broke up in the rankings, and I know you've been talking about how you're gonna bring it. Great performance this week. Next week and the week after, you've got Wenger, and then you've got Sparty. So, based off of your own performance and how you've been doing these past couple weeks, how are you kind of feeling about that? And how important do you think those games are going into the finals?
Okay, so a game against Wenger, I guess he's just not catching up his game lately. I don't see him much practicing or something. Maybe he's practicing but offline. Probably he will get better and better to when the finals will come. I didn't see him perform that well this week, and the last weeks I saw him as he used to play. So probably he will be on top shape when he will face me, but at the moment, not yet, I would say. And Sparty is the opposite side of this coin. He's really, really, really good now, and on practice, he's winning against tops, and he's really the guy you have a really hard time to play against at the moment. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but k1llsen said he would like, if anyone, you to win the stage finals going into it. So obviously you're looking pretty good today. How you feel going into the stage finals? Is there anyone you're not looking forward to playing as well?
First of all, thanks to k1llsen. It's nice from him. And what was the question once again?
How are you feeling yourself going into the stage finals?
Yeah, as I said, there is like 1 month before it, so I was ready before QuakeCon, for example, right? And I just lost 2 games, and that's it. So this question is pretty. I just don't know how to answer it because it's just like 1 month before it, and everything can happen in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Maybe I will feel really bad about my game or something. I don't know.
Well, hopefully not. On the same kind of topic, moving into the Stage 1 finals, do you change your preparation at all? Do you play the same? Do you play a little bit more ramping up to the finals? Or is there anything special that you do?
Not at the moment. Maybe I will change some right before the finals. Maybe I will just play a little bit more. I'm not really sure. At the moment, I am doing stable program for myself, like what I used to do all the time.
One final question, sorry, because I want to ask. We saw Coth today and Deep Embrace, both the new maps. Any thoughts on the maps are there? I'm going to use them. Do you feel pretty comfortable on them? I mean, you definitely looked very comfortable on Deep Embrace.
Yeah, Deep Embrace was a snowball, so I can't really rely on that game against k1llsen because it was a snowball, and this map is really small, and if you get trapped into such a snowball, it's really hard to get into the game. It's really hard, guys. Trust me. And as for the Coth, yeah, I think that both maps are great. It's just I think that Deep Embrace is a little bit too small, but in the same time there are a lot more actions. And I decided to start to practice it straight away when they released officially. And yeah, I feel good about both of these maps, actually.
Awesome. Thank you for answering.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Congratulations again on your
Congrats.
victory
Congrats.
today, and we will be seeing a lot more of you, I have a feeling, moving forward. So take care, man, and congratulations again.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Later, man.
Well, that's one way to end a day of Quake. That is quite the stamp. Anything that you guys want to kind of review or go over based on all these matches we had today, DJ Wheat? Anything?
I mean, honestly, it's getting exciting knowing that we are, getting further and or closer and closer to the stage 1 finals. I mean, starting this season, we knew that there were these new challengers on the field now, and we saw the Maestro boys really stepping up on a whole new level. And I mean, it's just been everything that we could possibly ask for. And I have to imagine that means that the finals is going to be, explosive. And I was so entertained during the Quake World Championships, not too long ago. And I just feel like what we're going to get out of this upcoming stage 1 finals is, buckle in. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Sorry, 40.
No, I was just going to say I couldn't agree more, and I was going to toss it to you as we look at the standings, CSX. So please, after you, my darling.
I mean, you've kind of wrecked my train of thought now, so I'll have to...
I did, and I don't regret it.
I was going to say something along the lines of, I think every stage we've just increased in the level of skill and the quality of the games we're at, and this season, everyone... Normally it's 2 or 3 people, but now this season everyone seems to have taken that step forward. You can see that nobody is running away with it, and you've got people like k1llsen and cypher and Awoken sitting down in the leaderboards, not because they're bad, just because everyone's playing so damn well. And the fact that someone like Sparty, who has been previous seasons, the kind of the butt of all beatings, is now beating most players, just shows you how even this playing field is now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely insane if you take a look at that. Again, every map is worth money, so you see the prize breakdown on the right. Those are the prize purses for each player. The more maps you win, the more money in your pocket. If we could flip over to the Americas and take a look, Rafa, again, the only one on the America side and in the whole league who has not dropped a single map. Is it a matter of time before he drops that map? Does he just go into the stage 1 finals flawlessly? I don't know. Probably, maybe. We'll see. I mean, any given Sunday.
Look, 40, when you've already reached legendary status, you've got to figure out how to reach godlike status. And I kind of feel like that's what Rafa's going for. So,
I mean, yeah, it's insane. Shane's still sitting on top of the leaderboard, but he has a bye week next week, so Rafa could tie it up, take the lead. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be hectic. I mean, we see Nosfa, Dewey, Maxter near the middle of the pack, and then Dramas and Akusagib near the bottom. But anything can happen. All these players are grinding it out. They're going to start ramping up as we get closer and closer to the finals. The battle for the belt, roughly in about a month. It's coming up quick, guys. It's coming up quick. Only a couple more weeks to kind of get those last-minute wins in, try and position as best you can before the bracket play. I'm super excited. It's ramping up. Every game's going to be close. Every set's going to be nuts. But that'll be it for today. DJ Wheat, as always, is there anything that you would like to sign off with?
Nah, just it's great being here every week, 40 and ZSX. It's always great to share a microphone and the featured matches with you guys. So thank you. Thank, of course, to everyone out there in chat who's making us laugh between games as well, and that are coming out to root for their favorite players. So, and to, of course, always to the players, thank you for bringing us phenomenal Quake entertainment every single week.
Dan?
Yeah, no, good to be here with you guys as well. And echoing what DJ Wheat said, thanks to everyone else. And looking forward to seeing you guys in the finals.
I agree completely. Big shouts to Bethesda and PGL for putting this on. Big shouts to the players for grinding it out and battling it out every week. And big shouts to everyone in chat for the laughs and the memes about the chops. But respect it. How dare you? ZSX, DJ Wheat, it's always a pleasure, but we're going to get out of here. Everybody enjoy their Sunday. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.